would like to thank Game Up for sponsoring the podcast. They make a thirst-quenching adult beverage with a special blend of electrolytes, a hard hydration drink. Currently comes in a variety pack with 4 great flavors: fruit punch, orange, lemon, lime, and grape.
Right, and it's just 110 calories, low carb. So get yourself some Game Up. Brendan Allen, Chris Curtis 2. We're going to talk about the main event and the co-main event. Before we do, any fights you want to plug on this card?
Yeah, Court McGee and Alex Morono. Both guys are never in a boring fight. So worth watching for sure. That's on the prelims. I think it's the featured bout on the prelims. So check that one out. Co-main event. This main card starts at 6 p.m. Eastern time, which is nice for us.
Mm-hmm.
We got punished last week with a 10 p.m. main card start time. That was rough. Co-main event. Alexander Hernandez versus Damon Jackson.
I consider this almost like a playoff must-win situation for both these guys. Damon Jackson is 22-6-1-1, 4 KOs, 15 subs, 3 decisions. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. Alex Hernandez is 14-7, 6 KOs, 2 subs, 6 decision wins. He's lost 3 out of his last 4. Interesting to note, though, when you look at this guy's career, he has wins over Jim Miller, Oliver Alban Mercier, and Beneil Dariush. So he's definitely shown he can beat top-notch talent, but it doesn't seem like he's always consistent.
Yeah, he's 6-6 in the UFC, so his inconsistency is tough. It's a very much a mental game for him.
I agree. I think to pick him, I'm going to go with Hernandez. I think he's due for a win. He lost his last one, so I just think he's going to be mentally on. But I think they're 2 tough fighters, so I'd say decision.
Jackson, definitely more of a submission guy, and I think that Hernandez is powerful enough to keep it standing. He has, good enough wrestling defense. I think he can keep it standing. And on the feet, he throws with a lot of power. And I think he probably gets a KO. I'll say round 1 KO. He kind of clips him in the first few exchanges and gets the finish. I'm hoping. The main event, Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis 2.
Brendan Allen, 23 wins, 5 losses, 5 KOs, 14 subs, 4 decisions. He's won 6 in a row and gotten 5 out of those 6 are finishes. He's got the
5 rear naked chokes, I think.
Oh, I think you're right. And he's got the second most submissions in UFC middleweight division history. Chris Curtis, he's 31-10-1, 17 KOs, 1 sub, 13 decisions. This guy's fought in the UFC. He's fought in the Contender Series, PFL. This guy's been around for a while. He's a training partner of Sean Strickland. And most importantly, out of all this, he holds the initial victory. He TKO'd Brendan Allen in their first fight. Sean Strickland had TKO.
That was also Brendan Allen's last loss.
Yes. So the big thing is here, when I'm reading over these accomplishments over Brendan Allen, what he's accomplished now with these 6 wins in a row and how impressive he's looked, this is going to be a real test. We talked earlier about Hernandez struggled with mental game. Not that Brendan Allen has had that struggle, but this is going to be a test for your mental game because you're improving so much. But now that one guy who gave you your last loss and stopped you. Oh, and by the way, one of the other guys who beat you is his training partner. Like, now you got to really show, okay, how much have you improved? Can you beat this guy? And it's not like this guy has slowed down. Chris Curtis, if anything, is consistent. It's a real interesting fight. Again, I'll call this one's a toss-up, too. I think it's partly you. I'm going to blame you. I'm kind of on the Brendan Allen hype train a little bit, too, though.
I like him.
Yeah, and I like Chris Curtis, too. But
Same.
I'm going to say Brendan Allen finds a way to get this done. I'm going to say he submits Curtis. Curtis might pass out, but I think there's going to be a submission victory one way or the other here. It's going to be a war. I'm going to say round 3. I think Curtis is going to possibly light him up with those hands, too. Not that Brendan Allen's hands are bad, but it's going to be an interesting fight. I think Brendan Allen will take a 3rd round submission victory, though.
Yeah, Brendan obviously at the top of his game right now on a streak since Chris Curtis before. Also, Allen was not happy with his performance in that fight, immediately wanted the rematch and has been calling for the rematch. So I think he mentally is looking forward to this because this was I don't remember. I think it was Vettori that was actually supposed to fight Allen, and Chris Curtis is stepping in on somewhat late notice. So I bet this is a welcome change for Allen. I think he's looking forward to it. I don't think either guy has changed their styles too much. in this. So obviously Chris Curtis, very capable of his boxing is top level, especially for the division. So very capable of knocking Allen out again. But I think just momentum wise, I'm going to go with Brendan Allen. I think he gets his 5th rear naked choke in a row. I'm going to go with, I think it goes a little bit later. I'm going to say around 4. Pretty close fight up until that point. He gets him down at some point and jumps on that neck when Chris is a little tired, a little sluggish to react to clinch game and keeping a strong base on the ground. So looking forward to this main fight.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'll get to see it this week because there's a little thing called WrestleMania on this weekend.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I will be watching that, but otherwise which by the way could have something to do with the 6 o'clock card. Maybe you don't want to go completely head to head.
Yeah, it's real toss up what people are going to watch. 3 days of WrestleMania or Brendan Allen and Chris Curtis.
All right.